Hey, it's Tiara, and I'm here making magic with Imani Andrea.
I wanted this interview for 2 years, and I've interviewed some important people like verified accounts, endless followers, but I think that I want this interview more than everybody. No offense, but your story is so lit. Like, I was in your DMs, your comments, the boyfriend you had at the time, his DMs. I'm like, please, please, I need this interview. And like, I wanted the interview because you inspired me. I don't know who else you inspired a lot of people, but you inspired me to the like fullest power. And so I just know that this interview is about to be lit. Today is the day. So just know it's about to get popping. Okay?
It's lit. I have really bad allergies. Like, my nose is like a fucking mess. Like, my allergies, when it's like allergy season, like, I'm always like snotty, blowing my nose. Like, I'm a trifling kid. So it was just like my nose just started running blood. This is like right after I got my septum pierced. And my nose was just like running blood, running blood, running blood. So I'm like, it's probably just my allergies on some other shit. Like, it's probably allergies on 1,000 right now. So I was working at McDonald's, and this was like May. So it was about to be my son's birthday, and you know, my son's biological father, wasn't in his life at this time. He was like MIA as fuck. So I was like working overtime. This was my son's first birthday. I was working overtime to, like, you know, so he could have like a good birthday party, and I was doing it all by myself. So I was like, this gotta be like lit. Like, he's gotta hit a whole shebang. They're like, okay, you can't be coming to work like that. Your nose is fucking bleeding every fucking where. And I would just be like, it's okay, it's okay. Got my son's birthday party, and at his birthday party, my nose was like running blood. Like, people was at the birthday party like, Tiara, what's going on with your nose? I'd be like, it's okay, looking terrible. With the septum still. They told me I couldn't come back to work if I didn't go. So I finally went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, yeah, just had this nasal spray. The nasal spray is probably just because your nose is dry, and if you know what I'm saying, spray it like a couple times a day, it'll get better. So I'm like, okay. So I use the spray, it's not getting better. He takes the camera, it's a little camera. If you go to like an ENT, an ear, nose, and throat doctor, they have like little cameras that they'll stick in your nose, and they can see like everything. So he's like, we're gonna go take a look. So he goes in there, and we see a big bloody thing. I'm looking at it too. We're both looking at it together on the screen. Like, we see it. So he's got like a little suction thing. He's sucking on this thing in my fucking nose. Mind you, we thought it was a blood clot. In reality, it's a tumor. He's sucking on this thing like, and I'm looking at it like, this is hurting. He put numbing cream in my nose, and when he would do any other things, I wouldn't feel it. But this was hurting really bad. Like, I was like, you gotta stop, because this is hurting too bad. And I'm looking at it on the screen at what he's sucking at, and I'm like, this is not budging. Like, whatever that is not budging, because it's not working with whatever you're doing. Like, shit is fucked up right now. So he's like, okay, emergency surgery next morning. So I'm like, alright, bet. So I go in for surgery. It's me and my son. We go in for surgery. When I come out, I go home. I was so fucked up. Like, my nose, I was blowing my nose, and my mucus smelled like burnt something. Like, it just smelled like something wasn't right for sure. Like, something was really not right. And they told me before we had even went into the into surgery that they would be burning something to stop the bleeding. So I'm thinking that it's, you know, like, because they burnt some shit. So it's just real mucusy, and then I just started getting super sick. Like, I was like really hot, but I would be like shivering like I'm cold, and then I would be like really cold but like sweating on the outside. Like, and I was smoking jacks like heavy. Like, I was smoking cigarettes like nothing. So while I'm going through all this, I'm like, babe, give me a cigarette. Whole time I had fucking cancer, I'm just smoking my fucking life away whole time. I go to the doctor for my follow-up, and I'm telling him everything, because I always like to self-diagnose myself. Like, I always be like, I'm like, I think I have an infection in my body. My nose stinks. Something's wrong. I've been lightheaded. I haven't been feeling good. I think I'm dehydrated. I'm just telling him everything that I think is going on with me. And he's like, no. Okay, well, what was in your nose wasn't a blood clot. It was a tumor. And the tumor is cancerous. And I'm like, Like, he's telling me, like, everything is fine. Like, he's just like, no, 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 no. And I'm just sitting there like, my mother brought me up there and sat in the car because that's how, like, fast they thought this little doctor's appointment was going to go. Like, it was my mom, my son, and my boyfriend at that time. They were in the car. They thought I was just going to run in, get some antibiotics, and come back out. We didn't think that I was going to be fucking diagnosed with cancer, you know what I'm saying? So, as soon as he told me that, I just broke down crying. And he's like, it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay. All you're going to need is radiation therapy. And then he feels my lymph nodes because the tumor I had was right here. And it was called nasopharyngeal carcinoma. So, it's a tumor. Carcinoma means tumor. And nasopharyngeal, this is in this region right here. So, I had a tumor right here. And it eventually spread it to both my lymph nodes. But at this time, it didn't. So he's like feeling my lymph nodes. He's like, all you're gonna need is radiation therapy. It's gonna be okay. And I'm just like fucked up. Like, oh my god, I have fucking cancer. And I always used to play like, I always used to be like, when I would smoke jacks, like, give me a cancer stick, like shit like that. And I was a wild child back in the day. Like, I didn't give a shit about dying. Like, I was not scared to die. Like, I used to run away just to be on the streets type shit. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that I was diagnosed with cancer was just like fucked up, because I was like, damn, the first person I thought about was my son. Like, damn, his father, you know what I'm saying, he's not even in his life for real. And then I had my boyfriend, and I'm thinking like, that's not his real dad. So who the fuck is gonna take care of my son? Who's gonna raise him like how I want him to be raised? You know what I'm saying? So I was just really sad about that. I'm like bawling, crying. I'm bawling. My mom, they're like, what's wrong, Tiara? What's wrong, Tiara? I'm like, I've got cancer. She's like, what? Let's go back. She's like, let's go back in here. She's all mad. I'm like, bitch, I got cancer. Just fucking accept it. So we go back in there, right? And he was like, yeah, she has cancer. Like, I told her, but you wanted me to tell you too. Okay, we started going through the process. So when I found out, I cut my hair. I was pretty much like preparing myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to be bald. I didn't want my hair to fall out. I was just scared, and I didn't know that stress would cause the cancer to spread more. And my cancer spread like wildfire. Like, that shit was like boom, 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 boom in a matter of like weeks and days. I was stressing like a bitch. Like, I was so stressed. Like, it was like I would wake up every morning just like, I have cancer.
Oh my god.
And you don't really know like the outcome. When it was all of us, I was just trying to stand strong. But when she got me alone, I just broke down crying. Like, I was like, I feel it spreading. Like, and she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, I feel it. I feel it spreading.
Did you really?
Yeah, I really did. Like, I knew it. I was smoking cigarettes like a fucking chimney. Like, I was smoking them shits all the time.
So you don't smoke no more?
No. Wait. Not cigarettes.
Okay, yeah, weed. Okay.
But I was smoking them shits all the time. So then I was stressed out, and I knew that would cause it to spread, but I couldn't stop stressing. Like, I couldn't think of no other way to sidetrack my mind of me knowing that I have cancer and that I could die or that I am dying. So she was like, okay, well, we're just going to try to get treatment started as soon as possible. So I'm like, okay. So they admitted me into the hospital, to Doctor's Hospital. And I was in there for like 2 weeks before I actually started treatment. And in that 2-week period, it had spread it to this lymph node and to this lymph node. In that 2-week period of me being in Doctor's Hospital, waiting to get treated for the radiation therapy and the chemotherapy.
Isn't it crazy how when you didn't know it was cancer, it was just a nosebleed and you was fine, but the moment you find out, it goes crazy and you start to feel sick?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
The mind is powerful.
She's like, you're going to get radiation therapy on all of this, which I did. And she said, your throat is going to hurt really bad and you're not going to be able to eat. And we have to give you a feeding tube. Because it's going to get that bad that you're not going to eat anything. And you're going to be throwing up and everything. Like, she was just saying a whole lot of fucked up shit. And I was just like, what the fuck? So when it spread to both my lymph nodes, that's when they told me that I had to get chemotherapy. Not only did I have to get radiation therapy, but I had to get like a high dose of chemotherapy. And the kind of chemotherapy I had to get was called cisplatin. So they said that the side effects of the cisplatin was I wouldn't be able to have kids at all. Like, no kids. No kids. They said that the only alternative for that was if I got my eggs frozen. And I want a lot of kids. I'm not going to lie to you. I want, like, a big family because I didn't come from a big family. I don't have a big family. So...
Your brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I got, like, 2 sisters, but I wanted, like, I wanted the whole gang. I was fucked up off of that when they told me I wouldn't be able to have kids. Like, I was crying for days to my boyfriend. And he would just be like, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. I would just be like, it's not going to be fine. Like, I wanted to give Zai brothers and sisters, and they're telling me because I'm sick and all this other shit that the medicine that they're going to give me to kill the cancer is going to also kill some other shit that it's not supposed to be killing. Like, so I was like, damn, like, that's fucked up. I mean, but I gotta do it because I gotta, you know what I'm saying, live. I'm guessing. Like, I was pretty much just going with the process. Like, people always come to me, they be like, you're so strong for, you know what I'm saying, getting through that. And I'm just like, I was just going through the process. You know what I'm saying? You know how it's like high school, like, if somebody was like, you're so strong for getting through high school, it's like, I was just, you know what I'm saying, going with the process. Like, 9th grade to 10th grade, the 11th grade to 12th grade was like, this, you know, things that I had to do. So, boom, I started radiation therapy. And then over time, I just started feeling really sick. And I started chemotherapy, and the chemo was so fucked up for me. Like, that shit is poison. Chemotherapy is straight poison.
They're going in the tube, but I'm going to give you a one-time dose of the IV again as soon as the pharmacist processes it. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
The doctors themselves, when they're about to hook it up to you, they have on full body, like they're about to be in a quarantine type shit. When they hook it up and, you know what I'm saying, put that shit in you, like, that shit is real. Chemotherapy is like, it'll make you feel the most miserable that you ever felt in your life. It does something to you inside, like, to your soul or something. If they diagnosed me today, I wouldn't go through chemotherapy. I would try to do some natural shit, if I would even do that. I just went, like, going through that was like the worst shit of my life, and I never want to go through it again. And it just made me feel terrible. Like, I didn't want to continue doing it. I couldn't do shit. I couldn't get up and walk, and I couldn't eat. I would always throw up. I had a feeding tube it was like a long tube, and you pour like liquid food down and it would go into the tube. That shit would come right back up. Like, right back up. Like, chemotherapy is the worst shit ever.
How long were you in this whole entire process?
It was really, okay, I got diagnosed in May 2014. I was in remission November 2014, so it wasn't like too long. You want to see my scar? They get like a thing that goes under the skin, and every time you get chemo, they like put a huge needle inside of you, and that's where the chemo goes. It goes all through your body.
Your scar is right under your God tattoo. That's cray.
Yeah, it is, and it used to itch, but anyway.
And your skin was changing too when you was going through the process.
Yeah, you want to see? Look,
Still?
this is where I got all my radiation therapy at. You see these scars? This is where they used to hook my IVs at, because my veins and my arms collapsed. It's like you can see the color, but you can't. They don't draw blood in my arms because my shit collapsed. So when I was in the hospital, since it collapsed, they had to put IVs in my neck, and that shit hurt. That's not regular.
It's not?
No, it's like leathery.
Oh my gosh. And that's because it's just been so much wear and tear.
It got burnt when I was getting radiation therapy. I can show you a picture.
Wow. This sounds like freaking Holocaust. Like, torture.
That shit was torture. That shit was so torture. Like, I would never go through chemotherapy again in my life.
But I was so shocked by you because you was posting pictures more than I was posting pictures on IG. Like, I had just cut my hair because I was going through a natural whatever. And I didn't feel confident at all during that 1 year. So I ain't post nothing because I didn't want people to see me. You was going through this and still posting pictures and still having so many comments and having so many people watch you go through this.
And I'm not gonna lie, I don't really fuck with my boyfriend that I was with at that time, but he made me feel secure. Like, he would be like, you're still beautiful, you're still pretty, your hair is gonna grow back, your weight is gonna come back, you know, stuff like that.
He was very supportive.
Yeah, he was. I mean, I found out a lot when I got better. He actually had another female pregnant when he got a female pregnant when I was in the hospital. So it was like he was there for me, but he was still like doing his own thing. And you can see where it changed. I used to have to keep cocoa butter on there so it could like, I wanted my skin to come back. I couldn't be like that. After that, I never had a regular diet ever since. I don't eat food. I drink straight liquid. You know, you ever heard of Boost?
Mm-mm.
It's like a Boost Plus drink. It has like 360 calories.
To this day?
Yeah.
You don't eat food?
No. I can't. My throat is like fucked.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's fucked beyond recognition. Like, I can't swallow food. I'll choke. My cancer was like a stage 3 going to stage 4 when I was diagnosed.
Oh my God.
So.
Stage 4 is the last stage.
Yeah, stage 4 is like detrimental shit.
Wow.
But it was spreading so fast. That's why it was a stage 3, because it was spreading like that. And then it's a very foreign cancer. Okay, I finished chemotherapy, right? Or at least I thought I was done. So I finished that, and it was pretty much like, okay, I'm done. Everything's cool. So I go. My boyfriend at the time, he had got my name tattooed on him twice. He got Tiara with a cancer ribbon, and then he got it done over bigger right there. So when I finished my chemotherapy, I'm real big on tattoos. Like, I fucking love tats. So when they told me my chemotherapy was done, I was like, all right, boom, it's time for me to get back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to get back on my shit. So I went and I got his name tatted, and they called me back into my oncologist's office at the chemotherapy doctor. And they're like, yeah, we need you to come back in. So I go to her, and they're like, yeah, we need to finish your regimen. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, you're not done chemotherapy. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm pissed. Like, I'm mad. I'm crying, everything. Because I'm like, this chemo shit is worse than a cancer. Like, y'all are fucking killing me. Like, y'all messing it with some shit. And at this time, I'm like 19. Let me think. I'm 21 now. Yeah, 19. I was 19 when I was diagnosed. So I'm just pissed off at this point. Like, I'm really upset. So I'm like, fuck it. Boom. Shit started going so wrong after that. That shit went so wrong after that. Like, I thought, like, I don't think I'm gonna ever come out the hospital. I never had no thoughts of, like, me actually dying. Like, I'ma die. But I was just like, I don't think I'm gonna ever be able to see my family or some shit, because the series of events that took toll after this chemo round was like, what the fuck? A chemo is pretty much like a poison, and it kills cancer, but it kills everything else also. So it's like, it's demolishing everything. That's why they said I couldn't have kids, because it would like contaminate my eggs and stuff. So if I was to have a kid, the kid might come out retarded. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit like that. I get the chemo again. After I get the tattoo, remind you, the tattoo plays a big part in this. I get the tattoo.
Oh my God.
I get the chemotherapy after that. You're not supposed to do shit that fucks with your immune system, because you don't have one when you're getting chemotherapy. You don't have no kind of immune system. So I used to always be sick. I used to always have colds and take medicine, and I wouldn't get rid of it. I'll have it for like a month until it naturally went out of my body when it wanted to, because my immune system was so low. I had to get like T-cell shots, like white T-cell shots, to get like some kind of thing to fight off any infections. I couldn't go outside. This is when it was cold out. I couldn't go outside, and when I did, I had to wear a mask, and I had to be like really warm, and whoever came around me had to wear a mask. Like, nobody could get me sick. I couldn't even be around my son while I was getting chemotherapy, because the chemo, like, it'll like, how can I explain it? It's really toxic. So bringing my son around me is bringing him around toxins, if you know what I'm saying, because chemo seeps through your skin and stuff and everything. Like, it's pretty much like alcohol if you think about it. I couldn't be around my son, and
So during this process, you're dealing with it by yourself.
Yeah.
There's nobody. You don't see your mom. You don't see.
No, because it's like my mom. She used to work a lot. She does work a lot. She works endless jobs. She still does. She's always been like that. To be honest with you, she really wasn't. She really wasn't like there during the time period. The only person that was really there was my boyfriend, and it's hard. You know, it was heartbreaking to find out that he actually had another girl pregnant while I was in the hospital. I thought he was like down.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. But do you ever consider? I see what you're saying. He was down though. He was
like,
down.
He was looking for somebody to confide in.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like maybe he needed somebody too?
Yeah, you know, that's how we continued. That was in 2014. I probably found out in 2015. And we stayed together. We just broke up this year, the beginning of this year.
I mean, I understand your betrayal too. I mean, it's gonna hurt you regardless. Did you ever feel guilty, or not guilty, but like maybe you couldn't be the girlfriend that he needed it to be while he was dealing with this?
I couldn't talk. I couldn't do nothing for him when I was in hospital. I didn't blame him at all. You know what I'm saying? I just wish he would have been honest. He would have just told me. Because I feel like I'm a pretty understanding person. You know what I'm saying?
Are you a Libra?
Like, no,
What
I'm
are
a
you?
Capricorn.
Capricorn? Okay.
Yeah. So it's like, if you tell me something, I'm going to get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to be like, well, why the fuck? Da-da-da-da-da. Because I feel like if you with somebody, y'all on the same team, y'all shouldn't be, like, going against each other and shit like that. And I was fucked up. I was going through a lot of shit. Like I said, I couldn't even talk because the radiation therapy had me to a point where my throat was just hurting so bad I couldn't talk. Then it's a whole nother shit that I didn't get to that just withheld me from talking. So when I would call, I would be like, mm-hmm. Like, babe, you okay? Like, mm-hmm.
Oh my
Like,
God.
what you doing? You know, like, it would just be like conversations like that, but I could just hum to him. You know what I'm saying? So, him being with another girl, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you was going through it. His grandfather just died from cancer. And that was his father figure of his life, you know what I'm saying? And to see that somebody that he loves, and we were actually engaged for a while. So to see somebody that you love, you know what I'm saying, going through such a hard time, you know, I can get that he would need somebody to cry, you know what I'm saying, some shit like that. I couldn't picture him going to one of his men crying about me. A female will take you in, she'll nurture you, she'll, you know what I'm saying, females, you know.
I understand your betrayal too. That shit hurt thinking that somebody else would be comforting your person.
Yeah, that was fucked up. And the way that the female came to me was even worse. Even worse, because it's like, don't do that. Like, anyways. Like, I felt myself getting sick, but I kept it to myself. Because, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I'm weird. I'm really weird. I just kept it to myself. I knew I wasn't feeling okay. So I'm on the couch. It's just this one random day. I'm on the couch. My heart's beating fast as shit. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, it was like pounding, pounding, pounding. And I'm just sitting here like cool, like trying to be cool. I'm trying to be cool. I'm with my mother. She's sitting directly beside me. My grandmother, she's like over there on the other couch. And my mother, she's just looking. She's like, Tiara, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, Mom. Why you ask that? She's like, I see your heartbeat beating out of your chest. Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, Mom. So she actually like puts her hand on my heart. She's like, what's wrong? What you been doing? I'm like, I haven't been doing nothing. She's like, we taking you to the hospital because something not right. And I'm like, alright. She's like, we're not taking you to Doctor's Hospital. We want to go to Washington Hospital. Because Doctor's Hospital, when I was at Doctor's Hospital, they treated me like utter shit. Like, I was like throwing up on myself because they wouldn't come. I was peeing on myself because they wouldn't come when I would like, you know what I'm saying, ring a nurse. I couldn't walk, so people had to help me walk and get to the bathroom and stuff. They was just fucking terrible. And of course I told everybody when I got home, like, I'm never going to that damn hospital again. So when my mom, she was like, we're going to the hospital. I'm like, I'm not going to Doctor's Hospital.
What is it, Doctor's Hospital?
It's in like Greenbelt off Good Luck Road or something like that.
Yeah, we need to know that address. Don't go there.
Yeah, that's the worst hospital ever. So
Okay.
the only reason I was going there was because my oncologist was there. So they get me in there. My fucking blood pressure was like 180 over 120, like some wild shit that it wasn't supposed to be. And I'm in medical school, so like 140 is like really, really high. 140 is like the highest. 180 or whatever the fuck was going on with me, that shit was high as a bitch, like, about to die type shit. This is when I went in a coma. They put me in a coma. They put me in an induced coma.
Okay, a coma for 2 weeks.
Coma for 2 weeks. So when I woke up, I didn't have my port. It was gone. I woke up, the shit was gone. And I had a thing on my face. And I was tripping out. I was hallucinating really bad. I thought that me and my boyfriend, we were having like an engagement party. I thought I was in like hotels. I thought the doctor had told me I was pregnant with twins. I thought my boyfriend bought me the new iPhone 6 at this time and somebody stole it. I thought he bought it from me and somebody stole it. My son, when they brought my son to come visit me, he was so afraid of me. Like, it fucked me up, like, to the core. It was like, I was so happy to see him for the first time. This was my first time out of ICU. And his only chance to see me, and he did not want to touch me. He did not want to come near me. He didn't want shit to do with me, like, at all. Like, he was so scared. And I was just like, fuck. Like, that pushed me to get off of the IVs. Like, it was like, alright, I gotta make sure that I get myself, you know what I'm saying, off of this shit. Because I don't even want my son to be afraid of me. I don't know how long I'm about to be here. But I know that when he comes to see me, I want to be able to hug him. I want to be able to kiss him. You know, shit like that. And he wasn't with none of that. So, finally I got off my IVs and shit, and then he came to see me, and that's when I like hugged him for the first time. In that video, you could see in the video I was like really small and like sick, bony as shit.
It's a video
yeah.
of you hugging your son for the first time?
Yeah, for the first time. And I was really sick.
So you're pregnant again after they tell you that you can't have kids.
Oh my gosh. So I come home and I'm like asking the doctor, you know, like, do I need to get on birth control? Because by this time my boyfriend, he was living with me. He came and stayed with me for a while. He was pretty much taking care of me. Like, he was like taking care of me for real. So
The boyfriend you had at the time?
yeah.
Okay.
So I asked them, like, yeah, do I need to get on birth control? They're like, number one, we don't want to give you estrogen because it might trigger some shit with your cancer. And number two, you can't have kids. So why you want to get on birth control? Because I'm getting fucked. It's like, nah. Remember I told you when I got out the hospital, I was like 60 pounds. And I started exercising. I couldn't stay like that. They had me fucked up if they thought that I wasn't going to try to come back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I exercised my ass off because they told me that I couldn't gain weight. I couldn't eat meat. I went to GNC and I started talking to the guy like, hey, you fucking bodybuilders, don't y'all, you know what I'm saying, use a weight gain product? And they're like, yeah, we use this. And he shows me like some powder, like some weight gain body mass powder. So he's like, you have to exercise and take it, and then you can, you know what I'm saying, you'll build muscle. And I'm like, oh fucking K, I'm gonna do that shit because I was not about to stay the way that I looked when I came out of that hospital.
Wow.
I hated the way that I looked.
Wow.
I was so small.
So you just had nonstop hard work from the moment you found out you had chemo.
I didn't even tell you. I skipped over the whole part of how I got discharged. A lady came and they're like, okay, we gotta get you out the bed. Like, we gotta get you walking. We gotta get you doing something. So they take off my damn cover. I look at my legs. My legs are fucking skeletons. I haven't sewn these shits in forever. And I'm just like really looking at myself like, oh my gosh, I'm not anything right now. And the lady's like, yeah, you lost all your muscle. You lost all your fat. You gotta, you know what I'm saying, regain it back because you've been in the hospital for so long. You haven't been doing anything. You just lost everything. Every fucking thing. They tried to get me to walk for a while and it wasn't working out. They said I needed more help. So they sent me to a rehabilitation center. So I got occupational therapy, I got speech therapy, I got occupational therapy. That's to teach you how to get yourself dressed again, how to take a shower again, how to take care of yourself again.
So you telling me this person right here had to learn how to talk again,
Yes.
walk again,
Yes.
you had a kid again, you had to
Yes.
gain weight again. After you beat cancer, now you gotta beat insecurities.
Yeah,
Whoa.
to the fullest extent. Like, I just couldn't walk. Like, everything was gone. I couldn't talk anymore because when I was in a coma and they had the thing down my throat helping me to breathe, when they pulled it out, it cut my throat in the inside. And that shit hurt. When they pulled it out, I got the Erlen like exorcism. Like everywhere. So I didn't want to miss Christmas. So I tried so hard to like get up, and because it's like you had to pass certain tests to go home, you know what I'm saying? And if you didn't pass these tests, you had to keep trying. You had to keep going until you passed the test to go home. So I had to go through all of these therapies and all of this shit just to get back home. And I used to fight to the death of me. Like, everything I had inside of me, I couldn't get up, but I would push myself, like, I know how to get up, like, oh, it's so emotional.
What can you say about trying again for anybody going through any type of struggle? Like,
you just gotta keep, you know what I'm saying, like, fighting, like, that shit was stressful. I went through so much.
Wow.
And it's like, I really just wanted to get home to my son, you know?
did you make it home by Christmas?
Yeah, I made it home by Christmas. I came home on December 23rd.
December 23rd.
Yeah, December 23rd. When I was in the hospital the whole time, that my best friend, she made the GoFundMe, and I raised so much money. Like, Maya.
She made a GoFundMe?
Yeah, she made the GoFundMe for me. And that is really what kept my spirits up high when I was in the hospital. Because I didn't know so many people cared, you know. I just, like, got a whole rock of shit to get me back together, and I, like, made sure I gave my son the best Christmas ever. And that's pretty much it. Like, I just gotta get back. Like, that's all I was worried about. I was like, I need to get back. I look like a fucking 12-year-old. I look like I'm 12 years old. You see my arms? My tits? I have
totally
nothing.
different.
I have nothing in these pictures.
Wow.
I'm bony as hell.
So what would you say the lesson out of all of this is?
You just gotta be grateful, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might be going through life situations, but somebody's going through worse. Now I look at it as if I'm not dying, I'm fine. As long as I'm not dying, I'm gonna be fine. Like, if you're not fucking dying and you sit here crying because of what, you're not dying, you can get through this, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be fine. I always say it, that's like my favorite line, like, it'll be fine. And you just never know what God has planned for you.
So why are you in medical school now?
Because I want to work with cancer patients. Like I said, when I was in the hospital, I had the worst fucking doctors. No one was there to comfort me at all. I wish I had nurses, you know, that would sit and talk to me, because I didn't have my family, you know what I'm saying, that would come visit me, you know.
Wow.
And I just wish I had nurses that would just sit in there with me or some shit or talk to me. So that's what made me want to get in the medical field. I wanted to do hair. You know, Maya being my best friend, I wanted to do hair. We were supposed to do hair together. But after all of that, I was just like, nah, I gotta make a difference. Because what I went through was crazy. And I didn't have nobody that understood me or understood what I was going through. Nobody could understand what I went through unless they had cancer, and then they had chemotherapy, and then they had all of that other shit. You know what I'm saying?
And then they had a kid, and they had a, yeah.
Right. My family, they don't know what I went through. They don't understand. They can try, but you would never, ever, 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 ever understand what I went through. And then they told me that I couldn't have kids. That broke my heart. That really broke my heart. And I went to doctors, like, I really can't have kids. And they would be like, no, you can't. I mean, no.
And you got pregnant again, so you just been saying God all through your life lately.
Yeah, so it's like, they told me I didn't have a period for a really long time because I was so underweight. Okay, I had to gain some more weight to get a period, to get an actual menstrual cycle itself. So when I gained my weight, because I got back nice, like my body came back nice when I was exercising, like I got toned and everything. And when my period came, I had my first period, then I never had a period after that. And I was like, something's not right. And I got to throwing up and shit, and I took about 3 pregnancy tests, 3, and I was like, this shit ain't right.
It said no?
No, it said yes.
Oh my God.
And when me and my boyfriend, we was living together, I showed him the pregnancy tests, and I was like, here's these, but I have another one. a fuck another one, and I'm gonna go take it right now, and then we're gonna see for sure, right? So I take it, and it was like positive, and he was like we was both shocked.
Did you cry?
No.
No.
I was really just scared.
You scared?
I had a feeding tube.
Oh.
I had a feeding tube.
Outside of the hospital?
Yeah.
Still.
Surgery. I had it surgically inside of me. It was a tube that went directly inside of my stomach.
She's healthy.
And that was how I was eating my food. That's how I was getting food. That's how I was getting nutrition. Everything. That's how I gained my weight back, because I was using the GNC powder and putting it in my tube when I would exercise.
Did you ask about that?
No, I didn't.
You don't ask for shit. Oh my
I
god.
was like, fuck them, because they didn't have hope that I could, you know what I'm saying? They didn't have hope for me, for real. They was like, this is what this did to you, and then this just that. I wasn't going like that. I was like, I'm fucking 20 years old. You think I'm gonna sit here and look like this all my life? I got a whole life ahead of me. I'm not about to just let this shit happen to me and just let it ruin me as a person.
So you're a fighter, because some people just accept what other people tell them, but you
Yeah, that
never.
was some bullshit. I wasn't going like that.
What's your sign?
Capricorn.
Oh, you're Capricorn. Okay, okay.
We're fighters.
Capricorn definitely is fighters.
I was like, that's some bullshit, because I'm not gonna sit and live in this predicament and I don't feel okay, you know? Like, I can't live a happy life and I'm not happy with myself.
So what's the most important thing to you about life now?
It's just like getting through obstacles and keep fighting. Like, you have to keep fighting to get through. Like, you can't just let yourself stay in this one place and give up hope and feel like it's nothing, you know what I'm saying? I went through a lot of shit by myself, but that's just me though, because not everybody can do that. But I went through a lot of shit by myself, and I was just like, I'm not gonna give up. Like, I'm not just gonna let myself go. I've never been the kind of person just to let myself go. If you could see, like, second kid, I'm not letting myself go, like, at all. Like, I'm not letting it happen. And when I found out I was pregnant, I was just like, I just wanted to know if that feeding tube was gonna be okay, because I knew for a fact that I wasn't ready to eat. I wasn't ready to try eating. And still to this day, people be like, you don't eat food? You don't be trying to eat? Like, hell no, that shit hurts. That shit hurts. Have you ever tried swallowing a dick? Yeah, you wouldn't want to try that, would you? Because it sounds terrible. That's how eating food sounds to me. Like, it hurts so bad. Huh? It's to be in the house. It'll be fine. He's like, what? So it's just like,
So what's your deepest fear?
I don't know, man. It's just like, I don't be trying to think about it. I don't even like talking about cancer. I don't like talking about anything I've been through, to be honest with you. I really just try to leave it in the past. Like, I don't even try to think about it at all. Like, people who just meet me, I don't even bring the shit up. Like, I don't be like, oh, I used to have cancer. Or if they be like, oh, you want something to eat? I'll be like, no. And they'll be like, why? I'll be like, I'm not hungry. Like, I don't like talking about this shit at all. I actually just got my tube removed when I had my daughter. And I just drink, like, Boost drinks. And that's how I get my calories. Other than that, I don't eat shit, because it's just like that cancer shit fucked me all the way up. All the way up. And it's like I lost all my hair. It grew back. I lost my weight. It came back because I worked to get it back. They told me I couldn't have kids. I had my daughter. It's like, fuck that shit. Like, fuck that cancer shit. Like, fuck all that. I was too wild of a child, and I never would have thought that some shit like that would have happened to me. And I just live life very cautiously now. Like, I try to be more on the humble side. I don't try to leave, like, bad blood. I mean, me and her father, we have really bad blood right now. Like, really bad blood, but I'm not going to speak on that.
Oh my god, your life really changed drastically.
Yeah, drastically.
From 0 to 100.
Real quick. Hey, I have a fear.
Okay.
My biggest fear is me not being strong enough to go through it again if I had to. Because that shit took a lot out of me. And it was my first time, so, you know, I did what I had to do. But the second time, knowing what I would have to go through, I would be like, fuck this.
So sometimes the unknown is a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Yes.
For real.
Yes. Like, I'm trying to tell you, if they told me, I don't get scans anymore. I say fuck the scans. Because I'm like, if y'all tell me some shit, I'm not gonna say, you know what I'm saying, but if y'all tell me some shit, I'm not getting no more chemotherapy. And I'll put that on my life. I'm not getting no more chemotherapy. Like, that shit is poison.
Your energy
Yes.
is connected to, it's almost stronger than medicine.
Yeah. That's
Swear to
the
God.
real shit. You know, your brain controls everything. The way that you think is how you'll act, you know what I'm saying? Like, so after a while, it was just like, I just started controlling what I was thinking. Like, I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be good. I just gotta get home. I can't wait to get home, you know, things like that. Okay, so I was working in the doctor's office, and it was this lady, she was white, she was old as shit. She came in there, she was like shaking or whatever, and I triage patients. I get their vital signs, like their blood pressure, their temperature, their weight, stuff like that. So I see her, and I'm like, she looks bad. I get her, I call her, and I get her weight, her temperature and stuff. And I'm like, are you okay? She's like, no. And I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, I've been getting radiation therapy and chemotherapy, and I don't feel like I'm going to make it. And I'm like, why do you, you know what I'm saying, why do you feel like that? And she says that she had paid for her granddaughter to do figure skating, right? And she did figure skating this whole time, and finally her tournament was coming. So she didn't feel like she was going to make it to see her tournament that weekend. It was probably like a Wednesday, and her tournament was maybe like Saturday or Sunday. And she didn't think she was going to make it to Saturday or Sunday. And she's like, nobody understands, and her family understands what she's going through. And just all of this shit, like how she was just feeling miserable and everything. And I'm like, I know exactly what you're going through. Like, I might not look like it, but I had radiation therapy and I had chemotherapy. And nobody understands what cancer patients go through. So I just was talking to her like, you shouldn't be thinking about, are you going to make it? You got to be thinking about what you're going to do when you get there. Like, you're going to make it, and this is what you're going to do when you get to that day. Think about what you're going to wear that day. Think about what you're going to say, what you're going to be shouting out to her when you get to the tournament to see her. Don't think about, am I going to make it there? You know what I'm saying? Like, your mindset controls you. It controls everything that has to do with you. So if you're down and you're out, yeah, that whole emotion is going to take over your body. You have to think in the future about, you got to speak good things into existence, not you know what I'm saying, worried about, are you going to make it? You are going to make it, and this is what you're going to do while making it, you know what I'm saying?
And that is the cure of cancer. And even if you got cancer in your life, that's not cancer. Like, cancer is life. That's the cure to that shit. Your mindset.
I want people to say about me when I died that I was a really good person and I always kept high spirits. I mean, that is what I want them to say. I think this is what I think they would say, actually. Like, she was always smiling, always laughing, funny, telling some shit. Like, I don't know. Like, I always just been like a lit nigga. It's like, nah. But, I don't know. Like, I feel like I would just want people, I don't know. I just can't, me dying, I just can't even fathom that thought, to be honest with you. So I don't have the best answer. But I know people will remember me and be like, you know what I'm saying, have happy thoughts in me.
When I didn't do right, I went out, he told me to go right, but I'm standing right here in the midst of my tears. Lord, I beg you to be the Lamb of God.
Imani TV.